Hey guys, today I'm going to go ahead and do some P5 for you. Let me make sure this is still working. Okay. Alright, I'm going to be doing some p5js. So, let's see. What do we want to do? I'm just going to give you some examples of basic let's start. So, I'm going to teach you some P5. So we have this function set up, create canvas 400, and a function draw background to 2020. What does all this mean? So this function is basically saying do this. So, and I'm sorry about my horrible setup. Is what I have. I got a sleeping bag behind me as my green screen, and it's red, so I had to fix the color so it don't work that well. Anyway, so function is like saying do this command, and what the setup and draw are is a function name, and there's a bunch of other ones. So anyway, and we have create canvas. So you see I have this canvas, so the 400 is like the amount of pixels. So every little dot on the screen is a pixel. And now we have pixels within pixels, and it's all kind of crazy. But like my mouse is made up of like 50 pixels probably. Oh no, say 20, 10, 15 maybe. Something like that. Anyway, and then this 220 is on the background color is 220. So let's say, what if we say 250? Oh, that's white. Now the max for these colors is 255. So it's going to be 255. But what if we say 255, 0, 1? Well, let's say 100. Oh, we got sort of a pink. And now I want to teach you something new. So if we say circle, I don't really use semicolons, but it's a good thing to know. If we say the keyword circle, now this is a keyword, and you can go to the p5js website and go to their reference page, and look at all the different 2D shapes. Anyway, so we have circle, and we could say put the circle at 200, and this is going to end up in the middle because that's dividing the canvas width by 400. That's dividing the canvas width and height by 2. So 200 by 200, and we'll say 100 is the size, and that puts a circle in the dead center of the screen. Now the rectangles, we do RECT, rect. And for this, and rectangles are a little different, and so are quads. So say if we try to put it at 200, and say, we'll say it's 100 is 100. What's this error down here? Rect was expecting at least 4 arguments, so that means we have to do another size or whatever. We'll say 100 by 200. And there it is. See, it starts it off at the corner, not the center of the rectangle. It starts it off at the corner. That's a weird thing to me, but I've gotten used to it now. Anyway, so now we're going to go ahead and do a new function. If you want to add, let's add our circle back. We had it at 200, 100. And then, now, if you want this circle to have color, you would say fill. Kind of like if you add water to a cup, and you're adding a certain fill of food coloring. But with this, fill is more of mixing light. So you're mixing like so much of red, so much of blue, and so much of green. That's RGB, that's the color code. So we're going to say 255 red, 100 green, and 0 blue. and that'll give us an orange one. Actually, let's say 100 blue. I like that color. And that is our fill. Now what if we say 0 green? We get a pink. Now what if we say 0 that and 255 blue? We have a blue circle. See, and you just kind of get the hang of mixing the colors. It's kind of trial and error with fill. And another one we could do is just say, we can say no, and this is a good thing to know. See, it says no fill is not defined. That's because I didn't put a capital F. Now when you have two separate words, you're gonna need a capital letter on the second word or second. You're gonna need a capital letter on the second word and or the third and or fourth and so on. Anyway, and then we have some more functions that I'm gonna show. So I'm trying to cover as much in this video. We're gonna say mouse. Yeah, this is an interactive thing. No, it's not how you spell mouse. M-O-U-S-E. Mouse X, mouse Y. Now that means it's going to follow where the mouse is. See how my circle on the screen is following where exactly the mouse is? That's because I did mouse X is the X location of the mouse, and mouse Y is the Y location. Y is the location downward, and X is the location across. So let's say, let's put it at 200. So that's a good demonstration of mouse Y. We got it, mouse Y, 200 and 100. It's moving across the screen. Now what if we say we want it at 200 by mouse Y? Shift key. There we go. Now it's moving up this way. But what happens if we say we want it at mouse X? 200 comma mouse X. You see, every time we move the mouse across the screen, it moves upward. And now, I know you're thinking, what happens if we draw a circle with no background? You're probably thinking, well, what will happen? If we say circle, we'll say this one's at mouse M-O-U-S-E, mouse X by mouse Y by, let's say the circle's 10 in size. C-I-R. There's my semicolon. And now we can draw. Ain't that cool? I just figured this out the other day. And I'm going to go ahead and cover variables real quick. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of this circle. And to create a variable, there is really a bunch of types, but the two I use mainly are let and var. Now var is the word variable, and let is, I'm not sure what that's short for, but let is like, say you want to add a variable. You can still do this with var, but let's more convenient. So you're saying let, like say per se, let y equal, we'll say let y. What's wrong? Let's run this and see what's wrong. Oh, because I didn't add anything up here. Anyway, and we'll say x equal 1. We'll say x equals 200. Now, in setup, we're going to say a new function, random. Random. We'll say y equals random. Now, this is going to randomly space it between 1 and we'll say width. Now, you can use width in anything you want, basically. So you could say a circle at width divided by 2, height divided by 2. Height is another one, kind of like width. And actually, this needs to be 1 in height. Now, if we draw a circle, and also I want to add a function x equals x plus 1. Now, that is something that I love to do, like x equals x plus 1. So, that might not make much sense to you, but x equals x plus 1 basically means x is going up constantly. So, x is equaling x plus the amount of 1. So x is going to cycle through x every time, and it's going to add 1 each time it cycles through itself. So it's basically just x is going up by 1. And we're going to add a circle, and we still have no background, so this is going to be interesting. So we're going to say circle. Whoop, already have that. Circle at x comma y comma 200. Now we'll say it's 50. And that's cool, isn't it? And now you can see it's spacing it randomly. See, now it's up there. Now it's down there. Anyway. And we could make it, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce if statements. I want to give you a challenge with the if statement at the end of this video. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. And get rid of those. And now we want to do var x equals 1. Let's say 200. And then we want another variable called y. Now we'll just say var speed. Now this is a good example. We can say var speed equals 1. And then if we do a circle, this is similar to x equals x plus 1. We're gonna say, but you add a new variable called speed or something like that, and it equals 1, and we say x plus equals s. No, x plus equals speed. What am I thinking? And now, if we put this circle at x comma 200 comma 100, it'll do the same exact thing. Now I'm going to introduce if statements. So x, and you can use negative numbers and all kinds of stuff. So let's say the circle is at x by x, and it's going to be at 200, and we're going to say it's 50. Now we're going to say if statement. So if is the keyword. If x is greater than, use the greater than sign. We're going to say width minus half of what x size is, so that's 25. Or we could say half of x minus, no, we'll just do 25 because it makes it easier. Anyway, so then we have to, and it's going to give you an error, unexpected token, and it's going to show the curly bracket. Now what are the curly brackets for? They're to show a closed, there's to show what's in that certain loop. Now draw loops over and over again, but setup only happens once. Anyway, so now we're going to say if x is greater than width minus 25, what? We're going to say speed equals -1. And if you'll notice, it'll bounce backwards. Now what I want you to do is figure out this is your assignment. This is where I'm going to end the video. Your assignment is to make it go to the other, to do what I just did, but make it bounce back. So you want it to go like bouncing back and forth. And actually I'm going to add a background so it'll be easier. Oh, I forgot to mention some other things about color, but excuse me. Anyway, we're going to say we want the ball to bounce, or the circle to bounce that way, so that way to the width, and then we want it to go back to 0 and then bounce the other way, so bounce back to width. So the way we can do that is, what we can do is we can go, I'm just going to let y'all figure that out, because you have this if statement right here. So, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you what speed needs to equal, so it'll be a little easier on you. Speed will have to equal 1 whenever x reaches a certain point. So think about that, and rewatch this video if you need to. And I'm going to go ahead and mention something. So we're going to go ahead, I forgot to mention grayscale, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to say fill, if we set all the colors to say 100, the circle will be gray, because that's grayscale. It's even amounts of every color. That's just what I wanted to mention. So I'm going to end this video now. Thank you for watching, and bye.